This is the British Army's Ajax reconnaissance vehicle, the most advanced medium-weight armoured fighting vehicle in the world.
The long-awaited Ajax armoured fighting vehicle can now deploy on operations. But how does an armoured vehicle commissioned in 2010 fit into a modern-day battlefield picture shaped by drones and electronic warfare?
The Army's been clear about its strategy for how it's going to develop its forces in terms of 20, 40, 40. So 20% survivable layer, a 40% attritable layer and a 40% consumable layer. The Ajax capability is part of that 20% layer. So the part of the force where it needs to be crewed, soldiers in the loop, able to get to the right place on the battlefield, take and hold ground, and then control those other elements within the other two layers. So able to control those autonomous systems.
In simple terms, the 20-40-40 concept will see traditional platforms like artillery and tanks used alongside a larger proportion of expendable autonomous systems and AI-powered assets, much like we're seeing in Ukraine. So how will Ajax work alongside these capabilities?
It's an open architecture which allows the platform to be rapidly upgraded over time, which you'll appreciate is one of the other lessons from Ukraine about the ability to adapt. So the electronic architecture could allow us in the future to control drones. General Dynamics have already proven that in their own sort of internal testing rather than army testing, that they can use the vehicle alongside drones, and then the systems on the vehicle allow us to detect drones as well. So we've got really capable day and night sights. Probably critically, we've got a acoustic sensor as well, which can pick out shots, helicopters, drones, and understand where they are in the battle space, and also help to identify what particular type of threat they are. So
you're confident that it can't be jammed?
I think the radio system that we have is the same as the deployable system used on all of the whole of the army uses, which is very resilient to being jammed, and the troops have procedures to make sure they minimise the chances of being jammed as well.
The Ajax family is replacing the British Army CVRTs, including Scimitar and Spartan armoured vehicles designed in the 60s. Ajax can listen to and hunt targets up to 5 miles away with a 40mm gun able to strike targets whilst on the move.
It's night and day from the other platforms that I've trained on. The biggest thing is just the cognitive burden that is shared, that is alleviated from the commander and shared amongst the crew. The suite of sensors that you have on the platform just increase your situational awareness. As AC Recce, where I've got to think about not just my vehicle, but the full scope of the AO, it allows me to have that sensory feel for a greater area with less vehicles, which leads to survivability.
So Ajax enables the crew to spot and track threats and pass data up the chain faster than any previous armoured vehicle. All of this without relying on a soldier poking out the top of the turret, making it a different driving experience too.
I think the catchline people have been using today is the Fiat Punto to a Tesla or something, but I think it's a pretty fair representation of the step change in the technology that is available to you as a commander. When I first stepped into the vehicle, you're surrounded by the screens and the toggle switches, whatever it is, but in the way the system's designed, it's really accessible. Our troopers, lance corporals of anything from 17, 18 up to into the early 20s, they take to using the systems really, really quickly.
Having met its initial operating capability, it's the first armoured fighting vehicle to enter service with the British Army in nearly 30 years. The Ajax family will eventually be made up of 589 vehicles with 6 variants and a cost of £5.5 billion.
We can deploy 50 Ajax with full crews that are trained to operate this vehicle to the maximum of its capabilities. Every single week, 10 to 12 Ajax come off the production line here in Merthyr Tydfil, and we train more people. And because it is so capable, the opportunities for where we can deploy it are many. This is just one capability and a suite of new capabilities that we're investing in as part of a £41 billion modernisation of the British Army. Ajax won't be fielded on its own, nor will the UK fight on our own. But importantly, if any adversaries are looking at this today, they should know that the British Army is now able to field the best-in-class armoured fighting vehicle on the planet, and that has increased deterrent capabilities against anyone thinking of starting a fight with NATO.
But the real test for Ajax will come when it's deployed. in an environment where even the most advanced kit faces cheap disposable threats from the air. And it shouldn't be forgotten, it's been a bumpy road to get to this stage. The Ajax programme was supposed to be ready in 2017, and there have been widely publicised issues. Over 300 people were exposed to excessive noise and vibrations from Ajax vehicles, meaning the programme took a pause in 2020 and 2021. 4 of whom were medically discharged, some for reasons relating to hearing loss. We're now told those issues have been resolved through vigorous testing. From the outside, it looks like a standard armoured vehicle we've seen on the battlefield in decades gone by. But the digital technology and software inside can be continually updated, much like a smartphone. It's thought this well-guarded technology will help Ajax defeat the types of drone threats and electronic warfare we're currently seeing on NATO's eastern border, and ensure it overcomes any future threats we may not be aware of yet. The Ajax programme is set to reach full operational capability by the end of 2029. Sophie Kakoyannis, BFBS Forces News, Merthyr Tydfil, Wales.
Thanks for watching. For more from BFBS Forces News, like and subscribe to our channel.